It's the nation's favourite antiques experts. Behind the wheel of a classic car.
This is the ejector button.
And a goal to scar Britain for antiques.
Where's my yellow submarine?
The aim to make the biggest profit at auction. But it's no mean feat. There'll be worthy winners and valiant losers.
It's cheap firewood.
Will it be the high road to glory
We look really cool in this.
or the slow road to disaster?
Oh, I don't know what I'm driving.
This is Antiques Road Trip. Yeah. Welcome to Wales. Well, at least the bit where our delightful experts find themselves.
Ba-da-da.
Ba-da-da?
Not to mention good morning.
Know what that means?
Well, I wouldn't have said it if I didn't.
Of course not. Tim Medhouse may only be an amateur linguist, but he's doing his best, as is Margie Cooper by his side, approaching the end of their latest jaunt together.
We have a laugh, don't we?
We do. I'm very, very lucky to be able to spend the time with you.
Oh,
Oh, right back at you both. Not to mention Fireman Sam, your little green electric fire engine.
There's nothing wrong with this car. Literally nothing has gone wrong.
we've had some times in the past, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
Conking out cars.
I like it. Could make an alternative title.
Maybe I do miss the choke not working or the grinding of gears.
Well, I'm sure that can all be arranged. Margie from Cheshire is a dealer and an avid football supporter,
Up you blues.
whereas Dorset-residing Tim is also a dealer.
Now, where's my yellow submarine?
He's not really sporty at all, although they do both love the thrill of an auction.
£110 it will be.
And agree that 4-0 is a pretty commanding scoreline in any competition.
So you've been and gone and done it again.
Well, it was partially intentional and partially
Luck.
luck. Look, we've still got one more to go, haven't we?
So, the main aim for Margie now? Avoid a drubbing.
You've got to get one.
I have.
Another £200 apiece to spend, remember?
It's the dream team right here, Margie.
It all began in the northwest of England, and after crossing the border into Wales, has steadily continued south. This time arriving in the capital.
It does seem ages since we kicked off in Blackpool, doesn't
I
it?
know. We've been all over the place.
Hither and yon. And today, it's the turn of the Welsh valleys, starting out in Pontypool. The former industrial powerhouse, which was the birthplace of the poet and illustrator Myfanwy Haycock, and also the home of ragamuffins. And here comes our couplet now, to hopefully share their first shop together. Nicely.
Ah, thank you.
It's good.
Yeah. So good luck, dear.
Oh, is that a hint?
No, I'm just wishing you good luck. Don't mean it, but I'm saying it.
Nicely, remember? With £200 each to spend. Lovely. Gosh, look at that.
Half a symbol. Where's the other? What's the use of half a symbol?
It's purely symbolic. How's a chum faring?
These look quite nice and brassy, don't they? Look at those. Good old fire dogs. And it's very Japanese influenced, actually, which indicates the aesthetic movement. So perhaps around the late 19th century, 1880. And it has turned something that could have been an ugly lump of brass into something that's actually quite good looking. And I quite like these. They would have sat in your fireplace to prop up logs to circulate the air, keep the fire going. And they were called fire dogs because originally when they were first made, they resembled the shape of a dog with 4 legs.
Ticket price, £65.
Probably, I would say, around the top end of what they would make in auction on a good day. So, unfortunately, even though I like them, I think the price is just too much for me.
Bye-bye, doggies. Our pair are just warming to their task.
Let's have a look. Cabinets. Silver. Let's have a look. This is quite nice, isn't it? It's a silver-plated crivet, probably mid-20th century. You can tell by the box. Really, it's perfect, absolutely perfect condition. Silver plate, £28. Tell you what's important, always look for the liners. This is just not being used at all. And it has a salt and a mustard spoon. Again, they're often missing.
Ticks most boxes, then.
And of course, if you put that on your table, nobody knows whether it's silver or silver plate.
Margie.
So I think that's one to think about. So I'm going to put it down. and continue looking.
In the bag.
I wonder what Tim's up to.
Good question. Ah, there he goes. Tim! Cool, it's a big old place.
That's quite a nice thing. I like Treem. And this piece is actually really useful. What it is it's a tapestry or needlework stretcher, and you've got these sort of wooden nuts which would have held the bar tight upwards, and you can tilt it towards you. So in a way, it's a bit like an artist's easel, but an artist's needlework stretcher. And this piece has caught my eye straight away because I love it when wood has been upgraded. This is actually mahogany. And back when this item was made, in around, let's say, 1850, rosewood was a much more popular, valuable wood. So what someone's done is replicated it with a faux grain, which I find charming. Now, I think this is very useful, and I challenge you to go to any craft store and try and buy a piece of this quality, handmade, hand-turned, hand-painted, for £20. I bet you can't do it. I'm quite chuffed.
Another item in the frame.
Oh, that's nice, isn't it? Lovely red jackets of the Chelsea pensioners. You seen this, Tim?
What's that?
Chelsea pensioners. Nice, isn't it?
Yeah, really nice.
£75. You see them walking around London, they look great.
Could you be a Chelsea pensioner?
No, I'm a Cheshire pensioner. Cheeky thing.
Very. Let's hope there's only due deference shown towards dealer Alan. An object each so far. Anything else?
Oh, no, that's nice. That is a silver, unmarked Art Deco spoon. £10. It's got planished bowl. Can you see planished? That's been hammered. Deco is such a great thing to collect. Very stylish. Look how stylish that finial is. And that's been handmade. So it says pewter on the label. That's why it's £10, but I'm almost certain it's silver.
Good spot, Margie. No hallmarks, of course.
I think that's worth about 30. I'm going to buy that, and I think that'll sell well at auction. Quite pleased with that. It's put a smile on my face. Could do with 5 more. A nice set of 6. And I'll smile even more.
She has perked up, look. Just needs to go and collect her Cruet set, and a deal can be done.
All right, Alan, had a good look round.
Okay.
So I'm very happy with the little spoon because it's £10.
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it?
28, now that's a slightly different story. Can you ease 28 for me?
Where would you like to be?
15?
I'll compromise 18.
That's marvellous, thanks.
Making a total of £28.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, great.
Diolch yn fawr.
Diolch yn fawr, what's that mean?
Thank you very much.
Diolch yn fawr.
Diolch yn fawr.
Diolch
Yn fawr.
fawr.
That's pretty good. It's pretty close.
Hear that, Margie?
Thank you.
Bye.
Ta-ta for now, because Tim's still awfully keen to find one more purchase.
Oh, I know what this is. I've seen one of these before, and I think they're great fun. Look at this, are you ready? It's a fan. And it's quite a nice one as well. It's lovely quality. It's made of boxwood, and it's got this nice inlaid cartouche around an original mirror. And the concertina is silk, and then around the edge is a decoration. And then on the very border is some lovely lace. Look at that. Very intricate and beautiful. Now, if you were at a party in the 19th century, a good way to communicate was with fan language, which was actually a thing. And if you were, let's say, married, you were off the market, you would fan yourself slowly, just like this. So you were a no-go. If you were engaged, it'd be a bit quicker, just like this. Now, there are other things as well. So if we close it up, if you ran the fan across your cheek, that was a sign, I love you. Or if you had a gentleman coming over that wanted to take you out for a nice dinner, you could either tap your cheek and say, yes, please, I'd love to do that, or nah.
Ticket price, £45.
I was hoping it might be nearer, let's say, 25. So I think some negotiation may need to be done on that to see whether we can take it to auction, because it's all down to the price, whether it's a or a.
I love it when we get all multilingual.
Oh, Alan.
Hi, Tim.
Hello. I found a few things.
Okay.
This one I think is very reasonable at 20.
I can do 10% on that. I can do
Yeah?
for 18.
Okay, 18 on that. This one I'm really struggling with. How low can we go on this?
Where would you like to be on it?
Well, I'll tell you the truth.
Yeah.
I thought it said 25 to start with.
Right.
How close to 25 can we get?
I could get with it.
You sure?
Yeah.
Thanks, Alan. £43, please.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Leaving him with £157 and Margie 172.
Yeah. Oh, it's a bit wet and soggy.
Also makes a teeny brolly look. Our slightly sopping shoppers are now about to take a brief break from all that and electric motor themselves north towards the head of the South Wales valleys at Bryn Mawr, a village with a rich seam of mining and sporting history, which was the birthplace of the flamboyant and trail-blazing wrestler, exotic Adrian Street. And Margie's here to meet his widow, Linda.
So, Adrian, was he from a family of miners?
They were all miners, and they expected Adrian to go down the mine as well, but he wasn't into it at all. He'd try and work out as much as he could, and he'd be lifting a barbell and trying to sort of build himself up. He'd start reading bodybuilder magazines and stuff.
see.
And eventually, when he was 16, he decided he was going to London to be a wrestler.
Needless to say, that wasn't easy, and young Adrian even spent time as a fairground boxer before the advent of televised wrestling in the early 1960s transformed the sport in the UK. But with so many bouts now being beamed into people's front rooms, image was everything.
He was just an ordinary, really good wrestler amongst a whole group of good wrestlers.
Yes.
And he wanted to stand out. So he started to grow his hair a bit longer.
Yeah.
Then, after a little while, he started wearing a little bit of makeup.
Did he have a name?
At first, it was Adrian Street Esquire. Eventually, he became Exotic Adrian Street. And he was even more flamboyant and more colourful. And people noticed him, and that's exactly what he wanted. And Adrian was the first wrestler to actually wear really fancy sort of spandex outfits.
Adrian played the baddie with a gender-fluid, crowd-pleasing twist, and Linda, also a pro wrestler, was usually in his corner. Since he passed away in 2023, she's been kept busy documenting his extraordinary career and costumes. Gosh.
Let's see how... Oh, my...
There we are. Now, you'd love to try these on, wouldn't you?
Most
There we
definitely
are.
would. Oh, my gosh. Flipping heck. My word. So I can see why he was called the Exotic Adrian Street.
You can, can't you? That definitely suits you.
Feel like Emu.
Also a bit of a wrestler.
You made this?
This was made by Granny Takes a Trip in Kings Road, Chelsea. There we are.
This is the Matador look, is it?
It is, yeah, and he had the trousers to match.
So he'd strut about in the ring?
Oh, he would.
They're fantastic. What was his inspiration?
A lot of the glam rock scene, Ziggy Stardust.
Yeah, Elton John. That was the way forward, wasn't it? Rather fabulous.
Adrian changed both his sport and his hometown as well. Welsh mining might be all but over, but the wrestling is very much on the up.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Tim's meeting Brendan and Michael.
Adrian Street is actually from Brimau. We're from Brimau. Yeah.
Right.
So growing up for us, we heard all about Adrian Street because obviously we've been into wrestling since we were kids.
Yeah, okay.
Everyone has a story about Adrian Street. He was like the only Welsh wrestler that we knew about that kind of transcended professional wrestling to an extent. And he would be one of the first, if not the first, to go to America.
So he was your role model, really, wasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're from the South Wales Valleys. There's not a lot to do there, and I just thought just because you're born in a certain area doesn't mean you have to succumb to the norm. You can really forge your own career path, and you can pursue anything you want.
So, could our mild-mannered antiques expert become a bit of a terror in the ring? Whoops! Steady on. We're about to find out.
We're going to show you how to react when certain things happen to you.
Crikey.
You'll be fine.
I'm not so sure.
So your left hand is going to shoot on his neck. That's it. The idea is now you're fighting for control here. Okay. Arm through there.
Yeah.
All right. And you're going to wrap that. There we go. You got it. You've done this before.
No, he collects coins.
Now he's going to push you back. So protect yourself. Protect yourself. Protect yourself. Come back. Big charge.
Oh,
We got him. We got him. We got him. We got him. We got
he
him.
certainly did. Margie's on her way now.
Just make sure you're ready to go at any time.
Oh my goodness! What is going on? Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Look, throw the towel in, for goodness sake.
But Margie, he's the Terminator.
Why'd you throw the towel in? I was winning there.
You were winning?
Yeah, I was.
I thought they're killing him.
Adrian would be proud. After the wrestling and the rummaging, it's time for a bit of relaxation.
Right, we've got to be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed for our last buying trip, so early night, I think.
Yeah.
As we're in Wales, if I can't sleep, I'll just start counting sheep.
Nighty-night. Next day, the sale room is already in their thoughts.
Shall I catalogue you?
If I was an auction lot.
Yeah. Looks good.
Thank you.
No, a decorative item with legs to go far.
Oh, very good, thank you. I would say Margie, lot number 1. A fine specimen and is the perfect road trip companion.
A delightful couple. I'm sure they'll be waxing equally lyrical about yesterday's acquisitions, including Tim's discovery of a tapestry rack and a fan.
It's all down to the price, whether it's a or a.
Which leaves him with 157 in his kitty, while Margie picked up a cruet set and a silver teaspoon.
Quite pleased with that. It's put a smile on my face.
So, she has 172 for today's purchases.
It's going to have to be something pretty good on our final shopping day, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
I tell you what I'm going to buy today.
Yeah.
I want to buy 5 seat drills.
Good plan. Possibly the most unusual item bagged so far.
Makes a change from buying silver, doesn't it?
Not half. Their shopping finale will start out in Pontypridd, birthplace of Tom Jones, who once had a Ponty red telephone box installed in his LA home. Good job he didn't want the indoor market as well. And Margie, having been deposited, is ready to rootle
There we are.
at Anagram Antiques.
Right. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Margie.
Hello.
You are
I'm Elaine.
Steve. Right, I'm going to have a look around.
Which is not unusual.
Fancy an apple. It's even got a bruise.
Still has £172 to spend, remember?
That's interesting. I'll turn it upside down. And then you've got the very famous name of Tudoric, which is the pewter that was sold in Liberty's in London in the early part of the 20th century. And this is probably a design by Archibald Knox, who did a lot of designing for Liberty's at that time. A very collectible designer. It's just a nice basket to put whatever you want into. Flowers, food.
Wooden apples.
How attractive is that with all this lovely pierced work? He was such a brilliant designer. And he had a fabulous name, Archibald Knox. And that's a very good price. That's £65, being reduced from 115. It's got a tiny split here, which is a bit of a shame, but that's not really taking anything away from it. Let me think as I go around, and then I'll make a decision.
No rush. Plenty of time.
Great job if you knows it is. What we got in here? Let's have a look. Coral Polge. I've got some pastels, which are pretty good, actually. They're well done. I wonder who these people are. Elaine, these are interesting, aren't they? They're quite well-executed sketches, but who's Coral Polge?
She was a British spiritualist who communicated with the spirits of the dead.
Yeah.
And she was also a trained artist. She would have audiences with clients who had lost a loved one.
Right.
And she had spirit guides, and they would tell her about their loved one, and she would communicate with that person on the other side, and she would do a sketch of the loved one that she
Right.
had communicated with to give to the family member.
Right.
I think Margie's interested.
So you've got 17 sketches, so what sort of money?
£75.
That seems quite okay. Well, can I have a think?
Of course.
Yeah. Psychic sketches. Shall I have a go? I don't know. But I know it's a market that people are very interested in. Never bought a psychic sketch before. There's 17 of them here.
Let's leave her pondering that question and communicate instead with Tim. No doubt missing his chum.
It's always sad when an antiques road trip comes to an end, but so many happy memories this time. And ever since Margie named this car Fireman Sam, every time I drive it, I can't help feel a bit like a firefighter. Coming through.
Tim's heading towards his own date with Shopping Destiny. In Cardiff, the Welsh capital and most populous city. World famous for its singers, especially Shirley Veronica Bassey, the first Welsh person to have a #1 hit on the UK singles chart. And here's our man with the gold fingers at the Jacobs Antique Centre. Over 30 stallholders within and 157 as far as the money pennies are concerned. Just has to sort out the diamonds are forever from the Dr. Knows.
Now, mid-century or vintage things aren't really my thing. I do quite like the Art Deco, and this is Art Deco. But I suppose, in a way, there's this little bit of sadness to it for me, because the designs are very eye-catching and actually sometimes very beautiful, aren't they? But for me, it's the change associated with them. So take this little sugar bowl, for example. It's sort of copying an earlier type of design, and what they've used is Bakelite here instead of wooden insulators on the handle, and the finial is plastic or Bakelite as well. And it's kind of that time when people were moving away from natural materials to start using plastics and things like that. And unfortunately, we've lived through almost a century of using so much man-made stuff that we can't control it anymore.
Very well said, Tim.
This is 1920s, 1930s probably, and it is a part of history, but I think now we really must think. We must think about where items are coming from, where they're made, why they're made, and maybe instead of buying new, buy something old and reuse it, because if you compare the prices to things you would buy in a high street shop, they're so much less. So it's a win-win.
No sale, though. That's Caroline, by the way. Happy to stop wrapping and do some dealing when required.
I'm a real glass lover, and one of my favourite colours of glass is this rich blue. Look at that. If you hold this up to the light, it really blings, doesn't it? It's known as Bristol blue glass. Bristol was well known for its blue glass since the 18th century, where it was developed.
It was once claimed that there were as many glassworks as churches in the city.
It was such an iconic colour, and often with Bristol blue glassware, some of it's gilt as well with some decoration. And you can see here, this one's got vine leaves all the way around the outside, and it's on this nice thick pedestal base as well. A good sign is it's often quite light for its size, and price-wise, it's £35, which I'm quite chuffed about, because I think that's quite a nice piece of Bristol blue glassware with the vine leaves gilt on the outside. So it might be just worth seeing what the very, very, very best price would be, because I think in auction, somebody that likes a bit of Bristol blue would quite like this bowl. So I'm going to pop it back for now, but I think that's definitely one to keep in the memory bank for later.
Bristol fashion came across in Cardiff. Now, what about further up the valley in Pontypridd, where Margie has this basket in her basket and several psychic pastels to chew over.
Lots of pots, lots of pots. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Typically Art Nouveau. I love the butterfly on the side. 3 butterflies all the way around. The 3-handled vase. It's German. The German factory is called Kaiserzinn. And the counterpart for Art Nouveau in Germany is called Jugendstil. It's about 1905, maybe a bit earlier.
Designed by Hugo Levin from Dusseldorf.
I really like that tulip basket, but I prefer this. Let's find out the price on it. Do I need something to fly at auction? And the word is, yes, I do.
I feel a deal coming on.
Right, Elaine, have you got a minute? I'm quite taken by this German vase. So how much can that be?
£35.
That's fair enough. And I keep thinking about these. How much were they?
£75.
110. Thank you.
Bold move, Margie.
Bye to both of you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
With £62 left over. Back to the capital, where Tim's still learning and still looking, although he's giving serious thought to a blue glass bowl.
Now that is a bit unusual. I quite like this. So we're looking at an obelisk. It was an Egyptian invention long time ago, and the Greeks named it the obelisk. And if you go around London, you'll see lots of monuments of this shape.
This one is made of Staffordshire marbled pearlware.
Around the base, you've got these really nice painted portraits in cartouches, which are quite eye-catching as well. There's a few nibbles, the tip is missing, but if you were from around 1800 and you were 200 odd years old and you had a very sharp tip, it would probably be chipped off as well.
Ouch!
I think in an auction it might do quite well because it's just quite an eye-catching and interesting piece.
All right, time to talk to the lady we saw earlier doing the packing.
Ah, Caroline. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good. And I found this rather nice little column.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
35.
OK, well, the second thing I've spotted, I'm hoping we might be able to do a deal on the two. And I've heard you're a very nice lady. It was a Bristol blue bowl with the gilt painting on it. You've got 35 on that. What do you think?
30.
Oh, what if I took the two?
55.
It's the deal.
Making the bowl 20 and the obelisk 35. £102 still in hand. Meanwhile, Margie has also found her way to Cardiff. And the last chance to top up before their final auction together. At a Victorian former pumping station, as you do.
God, this is big.
Where nowadays they pump antiques and vintage. And there's a potentially bewildering choice.
Military, Royal Dalton, Tunbridge Web box.
Margie has £62 left to spend in this establishment.
What do you think that's for? It's a Walker and Hall silver plated stand. Walker and Hall, very good maker. And what would all those little holes be for? Ice cream corners? Each one would have a little glass in it, and it's Holy Communion. So people just come along, take the glass, take the wine.
Sometimes in Reformed Protestant churches, that's preferred over the common cup.
And it's always missing the glasses, because they break. And how much is it? It's £65. I like things to do with religion, I think they're interesting. But as an item, it's not complete, and I can't think for the life of me what you do with it now. Keep looking.
Early days, eh? And here comes her chum. So far, Tim has 4 items in the bag. And £102 left to spend.
Go away. Don't rain on my parade.
Come on, you two. There's more than enough to go around.
I absolutely love this antique shop. Everywhere you look, there's lots of really nice, proper old antiques. Like this clock. Look at that. I think long case clocks are such a wonderful, underrated piece. And at the moment, they are really good value for money. You can easily go to an auction or an antique shop and buy a really decent long case clock that just might need a little bit of work for less than £100 for something that looks like this. This one's particularly nice. It's got a painted dial, looks like a maker from Carnarvon. And up here, it's got the sun, moon and stars. It's not ticketed, but it'll be out of my budget. But I just think they're really good value for money. But what a great thing to have in your house and enjoy. A clock that's also a piece of furniture.
Not a penny parted with just yet. Sue's dusting off the old till, though, just in case.
I don't have a lot of money, so I can't really buy anything that is madly expensive. What's this? Oh, that's sweet, isn't it? That's a card marker of some kind, a fern decoration. And when you see that decoration, you're almost certain that it's Victorian, because the Victorians loved fern decoration. And you find it on glass, pottery. That's a typical example. It's wooden, but it's faced with leather, and it's just been hand-painted. I mean, it's not faded, and it's like 140 years old, and it's had an interesting purpose. This is a marker for the French game called Bezique. But don't ask me any more, because I've no idea how you play Bezique.
Me neither.
Do people in England play Bezique? I have no idea.
Do you know, it was Winston Churchill's favourite game.
But I like the decoration. It's about 1880. It's £38, so it's within my budget.
Oh, Sue!
I found this little item, this little Victorian item.
OK.
It's £38, so what's the best you can do?
Oh, I think I can do 32 on that for you.
Pleasure doing business, Sue. 30 unspent.
Bye-bye, and thank you.
Which just leaves our Tim.
There's always somewhere where there's just stuff out and about. Like this candlesticks, for example. If this was a pair and some of the paint hadn't been worn off, then that would have been out maybe in the posher area with tea sets around it and things. But I quite like finding something like this just hidden away. This is an old Sheffield silver-plated candlestick, early 19th century, around 1820. Silver-plated ware was invented by a silversmith who was just doing some silversmithing, and he dripped a piece of silver onto a copper sheet, and it stuck. And he thought, hang on a second, I could start plating copperware and basically sell it almost as the real thing. Not fraudulently, just it was a way of people being able to afford silver objects without it being solid silver, which was obviously expensive.
Bit like Margie yesterday.
And you can go round an antique shop and find something like this, a silver-plated candlestick from around 1800, 1820, for the price of £8. Isn't that great?
Not today, though, thanks very much. But perhaps some art might be more to Sir's liking.
I absolutely love this image, and people love horses. I mean, how can you not love horses? Also, I just like the way that it's in its period frame as well. I'd imagine it probably dates to the mid-19th century. It's really striking. You've got this racehorse, and he's ready to go. He's got wild eyes, he's got a raised tail, and at a flash, he'll be off. It's signed down here, C. Vernet, and that's Carl Vernet.
A French artist who specialised in horses.
Looks like a coloured lithograph to me, and I would say date-wise, you're talking around the mid-19th century. If we get the price down from 65 a bit, that might be worth having a go at. Let me go and find a dealer.
At a canter, eh? Bob's the man to do business with.
How are you?
Oh, it's okay.
I've got my eye on your racehorse. You've got 65 on it.
Yeah.
Have you got some movement there, do you think?
I'll do it for 50. That'll be my lowest.
Are you happy with that?
Not a bad price for a thoroughbred.
See you again. Take care.
Thanks, Tim. Thank you.
With 52 left over.
Oh, I can't believe our shopping's done.
Cheers, lovely sunny day.
Or how about an ice cream?
I'm a bit off ice creams.
It's not every day a gull gets you 99. Time instead to look forward to the sale room.
Well, that's it. The die is cast.
Yeah.
We've done our best. We've got to sit there and take it.
I'm sure she means the huge bidding war their lots are about to start. But first, shut-eye, eh? Ah, now that'll be the 14th century church of St Michael in the delightful Norfolk market town of Aylsham. Having shopped both up and down the South Wales valleys, our two trippers have slipped sideways towards East Anglia and Key's fine art auctioneers, where they'll be selling in the room, on the net and on the phone. And Henry Hammond will be in charge.
To the internet, then.
I can't believe it's our last one.
I know.
Our last auction.
Been a great companion.
Oh, you have as well, Margie. And we've got some really interesting things, haven't we?
Oh, we have, yes. Unusual.
Indeed. Margie spent a total of £170 on 5 auction offerings. What has Henry taken to?
We see a lot of pictures every week. However, we don't see many by a psychic artist. I would hope that it will attract a considerable bit of interest.
Tim parted with a bit less, £148 for his 5 lots.
Of all the items, the obelisk is the one which has attracted the most online interest. It's an extremely decorative piece and quite an unusual model.
Top tip, eh? Now, take your seats, please, ladies and gents.
Here we go again.
Here we go again.
This is our last auction.
We've had a good time, though, haven't we?
We have.
Let's do it, starting with Margie's bit of German pewter.
You can't really see, but they're beautiful butterflies on them, all embossed.
We can go straight in here then at £25 on that then at 25. At 25, at 28 then.
Got
at
somebody in the
28
room over
in the
here.
room, 30 now, internet 32. At 32. Anybody else in the room then? At £32. And done then.
So close. Dash it.
She took that well, I thought.
Little loss.
Still a loss, though.
Inconsequential.
Tim's turn now. Mahogany pretending to be rosewood.
Would you have bought my tapestry, I think?
I'm not sure.
You'll tell me after when I make a profit or loss.
And we can go straight in here then at £5
Oh,
on this
that's
then
a low
at 5.
start.
At 8, 10 then at 10, 12. At 12, 15 then. At
little bit
15.
more,
At 15. I think that's the end of the road then. At 15.
It's the end of the road for me.
To the commission bid then.
Oh dear, what a disappointment.
And on to 6.
Why are you laughing? It's not funny, it's a very serious thing, Margie.
As is being 4 auctions down and desperate for a win, I'm sure.
I laugh when I lose myself.
Just as well. Now, what about her cheerful little Art Deco silver spoon?
Can't lose much, can I?
No, I'm quite jealous. I would have snapped that up for a tenner.
We are straight in here then at £5 on this
Oh.
then at 5. At 5, at 8 now, at 8. At 8.
Oh, no,
Anybody else then?
surely
At 8.
not.
Anybody else then? At £8. Anybody want to go
This
double
does
figures?
surprise me, Margie.
£8. And done then.
I'm
The
not
one
laughing
then
now.
is the 2 Art Deco dishes.
I'm sure that profits are just around the corner, Margie.
Don't be cross.
Straight in here then.
We won't have a nice evening together if you're cross.
£15 on these then at
Time for Tim's fan. Let's hope there's lots of Jane Austen types keen for a flutter.
It was one of the ones with the pull action, so you pull it and
Yeah.
the fan pops out.
Yeah.
But also it's got a lovely little original mirror.
Check your makeup.
We are straight in here then at £10 on this one then at 10. At 10.
They haven't been
at
fans
10,
of the fan.
At 10, 12, 15 then.
That's
at
nice.
15.
Getting there,
At
bit by
15.
bit.
Anybody else then at 15? Anybody else then at
Never mind, son.
£15. And done then.
Oh, Margie.
Very much in the same boat at the moment, aren't they?
Hurts, doesn't it?
Might be the time to find out exactly how popular Bezique is nowadays.
This is a piece of Victorian fernware.
Oh, I love
you know how
fernware,
popular?
yeah.
It's a marker, a card marker.
card marker.
Yeah, for the game Bezique.
We can go straight in on the internet then at £10. At 10, 12 now at 12. At 12, at 15 then at 15. At 15.
Oh, he's got a way to go.
At 18 then at 18. 20 now internet then at 20.
It's slowly
At
climbing.
20, at 20. It's
got a way to go.
On the internet then at £20. To the internet then.
Hammer goes down, clonk.
Margie definitely couldn't count on that one.
I'd buy it again,
Yeah.
but it wasn't its day,
It
was
wasn't.
it?
Now, we're a long way from Bristol, but good glassware is appreciated everywhere.
What I loved about this one was the gilt vine all the way around.
I love Bristol Blue.
Yeah,
don't you?
I do as well, yeah.
We can go straight in then at £15.
What'd you pay?
20.
Then at 15.
At least it's a
15,
start.
18. At 18, 20 now.
Just a
At
little
20. Anybody
tiny
else then
little
at
bit more
20?
would be nice.
Anybody else then at £20?
It's what I
The
paid.
commission then.
Oh, that's a shame.
Not for the lucky person who acquired it.
I bought it for 20
Yeah.
and I've sold it for 20.
Yeah.
That's not how you should deal.
Time for Margie's not at all motley cruet.
What did you pay for this?
On the internet then at
18.
£18.
Oh, it started at 18.
At 18. At 18. At 18.
Lovely
Started
and
at
clean,
18,
isn't
and
it?
I think we might be going to finish at 18. No, we're not. 20 in the room at 22. On the internet then at
22, £4.
Done then.
That's all right. £4 on a silver plated cruet, sir.
6:30.
Margie doesn't seem totally convinced, Tim.
If you put it on the table, they'd swear it was silver.
Yeah.
Tim's lithograph. Has he backed a winner?
Horses are so popular.
Yeah, and it's a lovely racehorse, and he's in a lovely original oak frame as well. But I paid £50 for this.
50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully it goes across the line.
We can go straight in on the internet then at £10. At 10,
Ooh, that's
at
a low
10,
start.
12, and at 12, 15, 18, 22
no.
then, at 22. At 22, would anybody like to go 25? At 25. Anybody else then?
Do you know why? It's because it's lot 666.
Pounds. And done then.
Oh.
Sadly, a bit of an also-ran.
I actually genuinely thought that had legs. Well, the horse had 4, but I thought the picture had some as well.
Margie's last lot now. Can her psychic pastels turn her fortunes?
We can go straight in on the internet then at £100 on this lot.
Well
then
done.
at
What did you pay?
75.
Well done.
110 now at 110. At 110, 120. At 120 now on the internet. 130, 140.
There's a market, isn't there, for this?
At 140.
I'm so pleased for you, Margie. That's a good result.
At £140.
I just knew that you knew that would make money.
Let's just call her Mystic Margie.
I was hoping for a little bit more, actually, but am I ever not?
I think they must be neck and neck now, with Tim about to play his joker.
It's a lovely Staffordshire obelisk by, I think it's probably by Enoch Wood.
Really?
Very characteristic with the marbling effect on it. I feel like you should worry. I like this. I think it could do quite well.
Sit and worry.
Yeah.
We can go straight in on the internet at £260 on that then. At 260.
Straight
at
in.
260. Anybody like to go 270? At £260. And done then. 270, 280.
Just in time
At
for
280. Anybody else then on the internet then? At £280.
A small profit.
Just a little one.
Best of the week by far, actually.
I am very, very chuffed with that.
Fantastic.
That shows, though, that good, rare, traditional antiques still have a good market.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Your eyes are all dancing with joy.
Whereas Margie will have to hold back her tears because, despite coming close, she made a loss after auction costs of £5.96. While Tim, also with sale room fees deducted, made a very fine profit of £125.10. So, he's won the trip with a whitewash. Overall profits for the week go to Children in Need.
Wow.
Mixed emotions, because it's our last auction, but we did so well, didn't we? You with your mystic
And
pictures.
you with your obelisk.
I know, but it was our last one. I'm going to really miss you.
Aren't they nice together? They should do it again, soon.
Oh. Oh.
And I also found this group of brooches.
It's enamel.
Oh, hello, you must be Kev.
Right. Hello.
Now then, what did I tell you?
Margie!
Oh, God! He's got the lot.
Next time, it's a brand new trip with Hetty Jago and Raj Bisram.
This is the ejector button.
No, don't press that.
It's showtime! Hetty has a nose for a bargain,
Antiques.
whilst Raj uses his head.
Voodoo.